The thing about Bahrain is that nobody really knows what's going on there because there's not much media coverage. But the protests never stopped.
Mariam Al-Khawaja is on a mission.
Making sure that people across the world, not just in the Arab world, across the world are hearing about what's going on the ground is very important.
Only 26, she's already one of her country's most prominent activists. As head of the Bahrain Center for Human Rights, Al-Khawaja lives in exile and travels the world, advocating on behalf of her people, whom she says are oppressed.
Every single day, between 15 to 25 different areas come out to protest in Bahrain. Every single day.
Those demonstrations began in February 2011 at the height of the Arab Spring. Anger from the majority Shiite population was being directed toward a ruling Sunni minority. But Bahrain's uprising failed to gain the traction of other regional revolutions after a crackdown by authorities in the island state, backed by troops from nearby Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. I met Al-Khawaja recently in Beirut, where we had a candid conversation about what drives her.
When you're talking about human rights, it's black and white. There's no excuse for committing human rights violations.
She accuses Bahrain's government of committing violations on a daily basis. The government denies such claims and has implemented tough penalties for those who incite what it calls terrorism. But Al-Khawaja says the protesters are not terrorists, and that her organization exists in part to document government abuses, a difficult job she was born to do, literally. She comes from a well-known family of dissidents. Her father, Abdul Hadi Al-Khawaja, was sentenced to life in prison for his role in anti-government demonstrations and plotting to overthrow the country's royal family. Many have called him a prisoner of conscience. She says she has to detach.
When I talk about Abdul Hadi Al-Khawaja, the political prisoner and the torture victim, or the torture survivor, I don't talk about Abdul Hadi Al-Khawaja, my father, who I shared my childhood with. I talk about Abdul Hadi Al-Khawaja, the person who's known to Bahrain and is known to the cause.
Still, it's never easy.
The thing with being a human rights defender is that it's always accompanied with guilt. Because no matter what you do, you feel like you're not doing enough.
Which is why she's always connected, no matter where she goes, reviewing claims, making cases, to audiences both digital and physical, urging the world to listen to the oppressed, one voice at a time. Mohammed Jamjoom, CNN, Beirut.